Geology is probably the first thing that grabs people's eye in the pictures, because there's really no other place like this.
Even people like John Muir saw this as an opportunity for America to preserve some of the last wild places in America, but make them also accessible.
I believe national parks across the country are value added to the country, to the citizens, and to the world for that matter, because they tell stories and they share information about the history of the country, as well as the resources, if it's the land or if it's the animal, if it's the fish, if it's the stories that happened a long time ago. So national parks are sites across the country, and currently there's 419 that commemorate or preserve or protect some sort of American story or American treasure. There are stories across the country that tell about natural and cultural resources, the assets and the stories of our history. Most national parks protect or preserve some sort of resource. It may be a story, a historical event, it could be a spectacular scenery, natural preserve such as Grand Teton. It could be just about anything that relates to the history of the United States of America.
Yeah, I think labeling areas national parks and providing these roads and parking lots for them, you know, people will just fill them up no matter how big they get. So it's a difficult balance, you know, how much should we develop this area to accommodate the vehicles of 3 million people a year versus preserving it as the wilderness people are seeking. It's a difficult balance.
instance, let me give an example. We have this particular kind of soil here in the desert, and this cryptobiotic soil crust. If you've never heard of it and you just went out and started just walking, you're going to do a lot of damage. But if you had already done your research and you found out, hey, there's a special kind of soil here, when we go there, we need to stay on the trail, we need to be careful. I think education is just the key.
The tourism to the national parks has definitely been increasing. Every year is more people are going to the parks than ever. But I think the vast majority of people that come here will simply stay on the pavement and or the most well-established trails, and they don't really get the full-on nature experience, which is okay too. Everybody uses the parks in different ways. And I think the people that do come to parks seeking, maybe some quiet or nature, they just have to go a little bit further or get more creative. And instead of just going into the line and asking, what do you recommend? Because we'll just tell you, these are the viewpoints to see, because they're the most recognizable. And if you're here for 2 hours, that's what you do. It's just, these more quiet and peaceful experiences are still available. You just have to be a little more creative and do a little bit more research on the location before you get there.
Because you have something that you want to preserve, at the same time you want people to enjoy it. So you have to strike a balance in there somewhere, obviously. So I think that core value is still there in the national park system. I think they're still trying to preserve what we do still have left of wild places, but at the same time helping visitors to be able to access that. As far as CNHA is concerned, we're kind of in the middle of that, in the sense that we're trying to educate the public when they come into a place like the Visitor Center in Arches or here at the Moreland Information Center, to make sure that they are getting the most out of their park, but also that they're respecting, the resource and hoping that they won't abuse things. And so, an educational process to do that. I definitely believe we've seen negative impacts due to increased numbers of people coming to see the parks. And there's obviously, I'm not the first person to say that we can love a place to death.
And so it's a unique twofold mission. We have protection, but also providing access. And so we have to do these things in a way that we're allowing people to come to these parks and enjoy it, but still protecting the resources here. And so it is a hard kind of opposing objectives, but when they come together, it really provides something meaningful. People can come to these parks and then experience the wilderness that we have here, and that way they can take it back to them when they go back to the city to remember, hey, this is a unique place. This park protects something wild. I can take my family there, I can show them true wilderness, and so then they take that with them and they will always have those memories.
I think it's really, it's maybe different things to different people, but I think one of the big things, especially why they've been increasingly popular lately, is you get to escape, day-to-day life and experience something totally new. And I think in our regular lives, we feel very safe a lot of the times, and you get your routine and you know what you're doing, and it's fun to kind of break that up and feel like you're living on the edge a little bit. You see. Well, I think the best way to experience a park, or it doesn't need to be a park, a wilderness area, is to know what you're getting in before you come and kind of have an idea of what you're doing.
I think everyone has a role in their national parks. Everybody has a responsibility to help protect and preserve them, and it's a little bit different from park to park. But I encourage everyone, to visit their national parks to learn more and to help protect them.